you started working the booth at
comedy
the
store.
world famous comedy
Yeah.
store.
My writing partner, we started writing a live performance series, which is the series I'm writing now.
Right. Oh, okay.
It originally was live performance, then it went to web, and then we're writing it into a half hour. But we were performing that and amongst many other sketches every week, just performing. And she started working at the comedy store. And the way you get a job there, all the door staff have to audition as stand-ups to work there. There, not anymore are there even any cover booths that aren't performers. You're all performers. The wait staff, the servers are not. Some of them are actors. And the bartenders, some are comics and some aren't. But the doormen, that's the program there. So Jay Leno, David Letterman, Jim Carrey, Mark Maron, God, who else? Bobby Lee. A lot of them were just door guys. It's the position. You work the door and you do stand up when you can. My writing partner was working the booth and said, I was saying I need a job. And she was saying, why don't you apply? In my interview, I told no one who my dad was because that's a mayhem working at a comedy place.
Right.
Come on. It's just a nightmare.
Right.
Again, to my dad, I'm not embarrassed of anything you've ever done. I love you dearly, but it was just for the pressure of it all. And
But that one time you crapped in the driveway, that was...
yeah. So I applied for the job. In the interview, they said, because a lot of people apply and they don't know what they're getting into. And they said, it's different dealing with comedians. They're a different type of person. Like, I don't know if you can handle the type of things they'd say. And I said very honestly, without indicating anything, I think, and you'll understand this later, I was born for something like this. I think I was brought up to work with comedians. And they were like, interesting answer. So I was hired. And then I was working in the booth.
Right.
And there's a pianist in the OR. And I thought, I could do that. I bet I could do that. And I said to them, to one of the managers and then the GM at one point, it took a lot of courage to say this. If you ever need a sub, I think I could do that job. And they looked at me like, just looking at me, you don't necessarily think that. And they said, you could open the room for 30 minutes playing. And I thought about it and I said, yeah, actually, yeah, I could do that. They said, okay, heard nothing. It was like a month later. Like, I didn't hear anything. I thought they forgot. I'm driving to work in my cover booth outfit, and they call me in the car and they say, we have no pianists. You have to play tonight. And I was like, okay. I hadn't practiced in like a month. I mean, it was scary. They set the piano up. I thought, I'm getting to work early. I'll have a few minutes to tinker around. We couldn't figure out because the pianist was the one who set up all the sound system. By the time we got sound, the audience was walking in.
Right.
I played for 7 hours that night. I went from not having practiced to playing for 7 hours. It was very intense and scary. And then they hired me and they kept asking me to play.
And you became the first
female pianist ever at the Comedy Store.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that. I was just trying to be good and get the job. I didn't realize that was a thing until Ryan, who's now a manager, who was security, and Annie Lederman.
I love her. She's really funny.
She is hilarious.
Yeah.
Talented, hilarious,
Yeah.
very much herself.
Yeah.
I really love Annie.
Mm-hmm.
She and Ryan were talking. They were like, aren't you the first girl? I was like, what? And I asked the resident archivist at the time, who was the pianist that encouraged me, which was incredible because he was the house pianist, Jeff Scott. Shout out to Jeff Scott. He's passed away now. There's no one like him. Anyway, anymore. One of a kind person.
Right.
There would be a whole other podcast if I went into Jeff. But he knew everything about the history, and he said, "No, yeah, you're the first female pianist."
Wow.
Solidified it. I was like, if Jeff says it, that's real.
Yeah.
So what I didn't realize, I thought you went in there and played piano, which you do. But I didn't realize you were an integral part of some of the comic shows.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed.
It's so fun.
Yeah. But I didn't know that. So you're not just a piano player. You're actually an accompanist.
Yeah.
Accompanist.
Yeah.
I'm a turd.
I
What do you
comp
want me
them.
to say?
I comp them.
You accompany them, but in the show, not just. I thought you just played, a little bit of Baba O'Reilly, in the in the beginning and stuff. But yeah, there was a few people that you were part of their show, really going with it. So I mean, honestly, I was impressed by that. That was a bigger deal than I thought. I mean, I was excited you got the gig.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, hey, Kaylee's playing piano at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
So does Bianca still work there?
She does.
Oh, okay.
She does.
Yeah. I've done
around.
a play with her before. She's
Oh,
really,
wow.
oh yeah, she's cool. Very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress. I've seen her in there before.
Yeah.
I went in there one night. A friend of mine owns a company, had a girl working for him, and she was working the booth. I forget her name. This is before, right, I guess, when Trump got elected. And we went in there one day, and Ali Wong, who's funny as fuck, she was performing, and she says, I got to get off the stage because Chris Rock's here.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh, God, there's another comic named Chris Rock? Besides Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Right? And Ali Wong was doing the thing about, I'm married now, we have a contract, I don't have to suck dick, And so Chris Rock comes up and says, Ali Wong ain't sucking dick no more. I got to quit talking her up at the bar. So he does 45 minutes, right? And he says, okay, I got to leave now. I got someone come up, so everybody's like, boo. He goes, no, this guy's funnier than I am. And everybody goes, shut up, boo, bullshit.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. That's a classic Comedy Store night.
I know. And I'm sitting there, and Chappelle gets up. He goes for about 45 minutes, and I'm like, he's just unbelievable.
It's such an honor to play the piano for all of these people. I've played for all of them coming on stage.
So
all three of those.
Right.
But many more. Bill Burr, Actually, Louis C.K. came back recently, which was interesting.
No. Does he keep his pants up?
He does.
Okay.
It's impressive. He's really worked on that.
Yeah. He's got a belt. He's got a chastity belt on.
Yeah, they've locked him in. We have a female booker, so she would, she's hardcore. She would kick him out.
I love Louis C.K. I'm just having fun at his expense, but
as many people have.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I mean, he shows his low hanging.
Now,
yeah. Okay.